Reddit, has anyone here actually killed another human being? What was it like? Serious. I work for the railroad. I've killed 3 people in my 12 years on the rail. 2 were suicides. That didn't really bother me. The one that really got me though was hitting a family at a crossing right before Christmas. The roads were icy and they couldn't get stopped in time. My train hit the car dead center on the passenger side, killing the mother instantly. It spun them around and flipped the car off the tracks. The 2 kids and the dad walked away with minor injuries. 14 years ago I, 12 years old, was riding a bike in the park with friends. A buddy of mine challenged me to a game of chicken. We were to ride directly towards the street and first to chicken out and not cross lost. As I was approaching the street I slammed the brakes before the curb and a car was coming around the bend who swerved because he thought I was going into the street. It was an old man who hit a pole and was severely injured. The car was about to catch fire, so my friend and I removed him from the vehicle. He told the cops it wasn't my fault. That he swerved because he thought I was going to cross the street, but that I was stopped. The man died the next day in the hospital. It still shakes me up a bit to realize I caused that because of a stupid game with a friend. I never rode a bike again until last year. A few years ago I was driving home from work in a snowstorm. The trip from work to home was about 54 kms. It was about 10:30 p.m. and probably about -40 with the wind. A man stepped out onto the road in front of me. He was outside my headlight range, but I managed to catch the glint of something. Years of driving that road I learned to react quickly to little things. Deer or other animals' eyes reflect light. I managed to skid and slid to a stop, only lightly bumping him as he didn't move. He got into the car, smelling strongly of booze, and through the slurs he told me THST he needed to get to Lloydminster, a city about an hour's drive from my location. I told him I wasn't driving to the city, but I would drop him off at the bar/motel in the little town I lived close by called Chauvin. I did, and along the way he told me he needed to see his daughter, and it couldn't wait. No idea why, but he was clearly drunk and freezing, so I just agreed. I left him at a bar which he went into and drove home. Several days later I learned that he had gone back out shortly after and froze to death on the side of the road. He was trying to get to the city to see his daughter in the hospital. She died the day he did. It wasn't really my fault, but I feel like I should have at least talked to the people in the bar before I went home. I just wanted to get home as soon as possible cause the weather was getting worse. I'm a respiratory therapist. We are the ones who take people off of life support. It's not for everyone. I indirectly killed my mom. To shorten it, when I was 11 my mom became sick, and it led to her being bedridden. I was the only one to take care of her, and I did. I walked to the grocery, helped her to the bathroom, and helped her with everything. I would wake up, make her and I breakfast, make her a lunch and store some drinks in a cooler next to her bed. Go to school, come straight home, and help her to the bathroom/make dinner or homework, rinse repeat. This went on until I was 18. At the time we were living in my dad's extra house, but his new wife didn't like his ex-wife living in a home of his, so he was evicting us. I took my mom to the doctor and he basically told her she'd be like this for the rest of her life and would need someone to take care of her. The next week my grandma, my dad's mom, had a stroke and was in the hospital. My dad called me and I was getting my mom ready to go see her, and my dad told me not to bring her, that Hannah, name changed, doesn't want my mom there. This broke my mom's heart. She knew my grandma for 40+ years. She was crying and yelling, and I was crying and stressed because of college, my grandma, my mom, my dad, everyone. So I yelled at my mom. I don't remember what I said exactly, but I remember yelling, "Just get over it," and I left for the hospital. I came back a few hours later and found my mom in her room. She had shot herself. Just like that, my whole world and life I had known was gone. Not a day goes by that I don't blame myself for being the final nail in my mom's coffin. The only thing to make it all worse was a cleanup crew was too expensive, so I cleaned up the aftermath on my own. Nobody expects to be 18 and cleaning parts of their mom's brain off their bed. I ran over someone with my car. I was with my family going Christmas shopping when I was 16. I was driving. We were on the interstate in a pretty high traffic area. I remember seeing someone fall from the car next to us. I'll never forget the thud the car made as we hit another person at 70+ miles per hour. As it turns out, he had actually stepped in front of another car and they knocked him into my lane. Not that it really makes a difference, but he was probably already gone before I hit him. Not the ideal Christmas shopping experience. Edit. It happened in Huntsville, Alabama about 9 years ago. Although it's not murder, I didn't return my best friend's call the night he overdosed and died. Sometimes I feel if I answered and we hung out, I could have prevented the chain of events that occurred. Sadly, addiction is a powerful entity. Great, you made it to the end. Now smash that like button and subscribe for even more videos like this one.